Hey everyone, how's it going there? Got another deck profile for you guys. Today I'm bringing you some Pendulum Magicians. Another one of my favorite decks. Of course this deck list will probably change up once Electrumite comes out, but for now this is what I'm running, and I feel like it's a little bit different than what most people will be running, and let's jump right into it. So for starters I got 3 Astra Sorcerer. I know a lot of people run this like at 1 or 2, but I don't know, I just like having him in hand. In case I don't get scales, I can at least normal summon a magician, and if something happens to it, then Astra Sorcerer can hit the field and search out another one. He's just all around like a really good card. I would not be surprised if he ends up on the Forbidden Limited list at some point in time in his life. Next up we got 3 Harmonizing Magician. Well, if Astra is the best, this is definitely the second best card in the deck. Able to tutor out any of the Magician Pendulum card monsters from the deck to the field is really good, and also being a tuner, just allowing you to do your Omega plays, or any other, or just do an XE play, what have you. It's just like a 1-card Omega, a 1-card Time Star, a 1-card anything in the extra deck, pretty much. Then for the main like dragon magicians, I guess, or Zark magicians I should say, I only play 2 of them, and I play 3 of the purple poison and 3 of for the double iris magician. Purple poison is really good for like combos really well with the time star or time pendulum graph. Just able to destroy 2 cards for the price of 1. Also, its pendulum effect is really good in being able to increase Dark Spellcaster's attack by 1200 during the damage or before damage calculation. And then, of course, Double Iris Magician is the main card to search out your graph spells and traps. And also, if you're attacking over something weak, you boost up your Astrograph or Time Star off of Purple Poison. Then you can use Double Iris Effect to double any battle damage it does when that monster battles your opponent's monster, and sometimes you can just go for gain that way. Then we run 3 Wisdom Eye. This is kind of like your any scale. It just pairs with any magician in the Pendulum scale. It destroys itself to throw any magician pendulum monster from your deck into that scale. Also, this works really well when you have Star Pendulum Graph on the field, just allowing you to get whatever scale that you need, but also then off of Star Pendulum Graph you add a Magician card to hand, Pendulum card to hand. Last for the Magicians, we got the 1 Oath Dragon. This is typically what I'd get off of Wisdom Eye if I use it at the end of a combo, just to recur my Harmonizing Magician. But also, there are times where you could have a Magician Engrave that you just want to recur back, so you could special summon him onto the field and get it back that way. I find that he's fine at 1. Could play him at 2 as well. Then for the Performa Pals, we just run the 3 Joker, 1 Sorcerer. Joker just searches pretty much everything in the deck, save for the Astrograph. And then the Pendulum Sorcerer, it just pops... can pop your Double Iris, search for a graph, and then the Sorcerer searches for Skullcrobat Joker for a follow-up play next turn. Onto the hand traps, run 3 Ash Blossom. That, this just pretty much stops everything in the game right now. Really important, especially in this meta. You wanna Ash the Double Helix, Ash, basically any important card that can search special summon from the deck. Depending on what your opponent has, if in the mirror match you could Ash Harmonizing if that's the only thing they're special summoning. Then we run 3 Psyframe Gear Gammas. Now you're probably wondering why, and of course the 1 driver there as well. And I will show you when we get to the spells, but there's a lot of stuff that's going to be hand trap bait. You know, Droll and Lock really hurts this deck. And, of course, Ash Blossom on Pendulum Call really hurts. So we run the Gamma just to basically allow our Pendulum Call to go through, and then we get a free Omega out of it. So this is really important, a 2-card type deal. You know, you want to pair this with your Pendulum Call in order to search 2 scales and then make a Cipher and Lord Omega out of it. And of course the 1 Max Z for the last bit. Onto the spells, we run the 3 Duelist Alliance. This can search out your Pendulum Call, any of your graph spells or traps. This can also search out your Pendulum Sorcerer, and it searches out Double Iris because his name is always treated as Pendulum Dragon. Now I run 3 Pendulum Calls. See, this is why I run the Gammas, because I really do like this card, and I like playing it because it definitely baits out the hand traps. Like when you play this, people just instantly, they go crazy. They're like, okay, I'm gonna Ash that. I'm gonna Droll. Well, people try to Droll you before you get to this card, but I mean, if this is what you're opening up with, they'll hit it with whatever they got right away, and you just basically you Gamma. So then this will go through. You know, you got your Gamma and your Driver on the field. You get your 2 Magicians to hand, and then you can make your Omega, rip another card from their hand, and then you haven't wasted any of the cards in your hand. You've just discarded 1, got 2 from the deck, and you're looking really good. So next up for the spells, just 2 Star Pendulum Graphs. I would consider cutting this to 1, but the way that this deck works is the main searching that I want to do is actually off of Pendulum Call. I don't want to have to be like wasting my time trying to destroy my Double Iris to get all my searches through and then have them eventually negated or get trolled or whatever. I want to keep my searching to a minimum, and then this just allows me to recur over time, right? As long as I can keep this up. This is something that they're gonna have to try to remove at some point. So it's there. They'll be using their resources to try to take care of this card, and generally I'll have Pendulum Call up so my scales won't be able to get destroyed, and which of course pairs well with the time Pendulum Graph at the end, which is another thing I forgot to mention. I guess I can say at the end there, I do run just 1 Pot of Desires. I would like to run 2, but honestly I find that I always draw into, even if I run 2 of them, I'll draw into the other one off of it, so it kind of hurts me, but maybe through more testing I'll find time to, or find a way to incorporate a second one. And for the traps, just run 3 time Pendulum Graph. I know most people run 2, but like I said, I want to be drawing into it, you know, have my Gamma in hand, have a Pendulum Call in hand, and then I'm set. And now the reason that I run the 3 Pendulum Calls is that way always my non-targeting send to grave is always live, and that's always important to deal with a lot of problems like Sleeper, and I guess can't really deal with like any Masterpiece or anything like that. Just unless of course they're always going to be immune to traps when they're up against Pendulum Magicians, but you know, just off chance if it's a monster spell, Masterpiece, you can take care of that. But you're always going to be able to pop first, face up like their field spell or whatever is up, and then just send something to grave. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Everybody knows what that card does. Everybody hates that card, so I don't need to say too much on it. On to the extra deck now. My extra deck's a little wonky. I only own 1 Cipher and Lord Omega, so I'm only running the 1, but let's go into the XEs first. Run 2 Time Stars. You know, he's searches any of your Dark Spellcasters in the deck, and also if Pendulum Monster card in a Monster Zone or Pendulum Zone is about to be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can use this effect to send a spellcaster monster from the deck to grave instead. So that's another way to combo off with the time Pendulum Graph, and if you didn't open up with the Pendulum Call. And he's just really good searcher, good body to have. Anyways, you know, most games, after doing the Omega, you'll go into that if you're able to, or you'll go into the Baguska, who everybody knows what he does. You're used to seeing him like this. For the rest of the rank 4s, I'll go through them quickly. Tornado Dragon, popping spells and traps, can also search your stuff if need be. Trapeze Magician, just for trying to go for an OTK. Finish off your opponent. Castell, just for some form of removal. And Karen Gorgon, protection from targeting. And Abyss Dweller just stops opponent's grave. I find that Burning Abyss is pretty prominent. There's a guy at my locals who's playing Burning Abyss, and I haven't versed him yet, but I do think that he's quite proficient, so got that waiting for him. Onto the Synchros, the 1 Omega, 1 Beals. The Omega obviously ripping a card out of their hand and also recurring anything that you if he gets sent to grave, you can shuffle. He recurs himself back into the extra deck, but then also shuffles another card from your grave into the deck. The Beals just can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and he gains attack every time that you take damage. Enlightenment Paladin, just to get back Duelist Alliance, or say Star Pendulum Graph if it's gone, even a Pendulum Call. Really, you never really need to recur the Pendulum Call, but it's nice to have the option. Also, inflicts damage, like just for attacking. He's decent body, 2500 attack. Attack an opponent's monster, kill it, do damage to them equal to that monster's attack. Clear Wing for the board wipe. Then I got just some random stuff here. The Starving Venom, really great card. I can't wait until we get like Land Phalanx, because then I might actually start teching in Instant Fusion to get out what's it called? Independent Nightingale, the Lyralesque fusion, and then link off with it into Land Phalanx, and then use 2 Dark Pendulums to bring this guy out, because then you can, this is going to be way in the future, of course, but just figured I'd mention it now. And then you could take that Independent Nightingale's effect in Grave, add it to this guy. He now becomes a 6800 attack, or is it 6800? Yeah. How many? Yeah, he goes up by 4. Yeah, 6800 attack with piercing, and he burns for 4000. So he's pretty crazy for going second with that card in mind, anyhow. And then just some links: Proxy Dragon, Deco Talker. Nothing really to say. Never go into them too often. But I don't know, if your opponent ever puts something on your side of the field that you want to link away with, you go into Proxy Dragon at the very least. Onto the side deck, we got, start off with the traps, running Mind Crush. Honestly, that's just for evenly matched, because that's a really scary card against this deck. And then we got our Dimensional Barrier. This stops a lot of stuff. You know, this can stop Pendulums as well, but this kind of hurts you. Of course, you'd activate it on your opponent's turn, but what am I thinking? Oh yeah, Rituals. It stops Rituals, so I mean, like Cyber Heralds get stopped, Vendreads, if you're going to see those, get stopped. Invoked get stopped. It stops fusions. The only thing it doesn't stop is links, basically. Everyone knows what Dimensional Barrier does. Cosmic Cyclone for the spells. Good. It's good against Pendulum Magicians as well. Really good against True Draco. And also, just in case you're feeling like you do need some form of back row removal, it's in the side deck here. Then, of course, Wavering Eyes for the mirror match. And last but not least, just 3 Epsilon to swap out those Gammas and prevent your opponent, like if you're going up against Trickstars, prevent them from doing that horrible, horrible thing with Droll and Lock and Trickstar Reincarnation. But that's it for the deck profile. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If there's anything that you run differently, that you enjoy about the deck, please feel free to put it down in the comments. I've been a big fan of this deck since way back when Zodiacs were still a thing. I actually, even after MR4, I found this deck really successful against Zodiacs, and I'm surprised that it took until after the ban list for them to really catch on. But I'm really excited for Electrumite. Can't wait to see where this deck takes us, and thank you for watching, and have a good day.